So I just want to point out too the fact that me and Dominic knew each other for a few years. However, we were not talking for the whole time that we knew each other, and we really only dated literally for like a month before we got married. And so I know people are going to judge me for saying that, but y'all are judging me anyway. So I'm just telling you the truth. And so we really didn't know each other that well. I just assumed, like, oh my gosh, he really loves me. He really loves God. We're going to start a whole ministry together. We're going to have a church. I'll be able to homeschool my children. This is going to be great. All the future faking. And so people need to understand that I really didn't know him very well upon marrying him. And so you can see why I didn't know these things sooner. Now, if I had been with him for years, then you'd be able to know that, like, I would probably know that he was lying the whole time. But we were only together for what? Married like 8 months or something like that, so it really was not that long. And also, we never lived together. There's reasons behind that, but we were planning to very soon here, but we did not live together also. And I think people forget that I had worked a job for pretty much the whole time that I was with him. The longest that I didn't have a job was probably like 2 months at the most. I think it was like a month that I worked for him and didn't have my own job. So a lot of this time you need to realize that I made my own money, and I didn't really ask him for much until I was working for him. And even then, we never shared a bank account ever. We never did. So, like I said, people can assume what they want. People can judge me for not really knowing him. And now looking back, yeah, that probably was not the smartest idea. But lots of people do it. And for some people it works out. And for some people it doesn't. But I learned my lesson. Like I've said before as well, and I'm going to say it again, is his family knows exactly what they did. And, some of them, I think, that are younger and things like that have never lived in Chicago, they might not know the truth. So I can see why they're honestly defending him and being so defensive. But for those of you who do know, like especially the people in Chicago, which most of his family that is older, knows the truth and is saying they don't want to talk about it. But you do have to notice that not one person has ever came on any of his lives, on any of his videos, and ever said that this happened. You notice that nobody's actually defending him. Yes, his mom might try to say that she was defending him on the phone call, but we know that's not true. And honestly, Kim, if you want to keep pretending like that didn't happen, and you better just quit commenting on my videos before I leak the whole conversation. Like, for real, quit playing with me. You know that you talked to me, you know exactly what you said, and you know that you're lying. So, you notice though that even though she's commenting on there, she never once says that this did or didn't happen. She never says that he's not Cuban. Like, she doesn't ever go in defense about any of those things. She just wants to say that she was defending him on the phone because she doesn't want him to get mad. Now, if you notice, in a narcissistic family, they would rather just ignore the problem and pretend that it doesn't exist because it's easier to do than to actually confront the problem and possibly be alienated by the rest of the family. But if every single one of you decided to come out at once and speak about it, nobody would be alienated but him. And the truth is, I don't want anything bad to happen to this man. I really don't. I don't want anybody to say hateful comments to him. I don't want anybody to say hateful comments to his family. I don't want anybody to try to do anything to hurt him, or even call him names. I just literally want the truth to come out. I want him to quit lying to people, and I am tired of taking the fall because nobody else wants to talk about it, even though they know the truth. Now, for those of you who really don't know what to think or really don't know the truth, then I can understand, because my eyes were blinded, for a while too, and so were a lot of other people's. But what I don't think is of God and is Christian is to sit there and say things to me like I'm demonic, I'm evil, I'm of the devil, and things like that. Because even for me, I don't say those types of things about other people, and I don't say them about Dominic. But what I know is what he is doing is not of God at all. And, for those of you who know the truth and decide not to say anything, I'm not saying that you're going to go to hell, but what I am saying is God is going to hold all of you accountable for that, for the knowledge of truth that that you're deciding not to share. Even if it's anonymously, I would really love people to at least message me anonymously because, there's a lot of things that I need to know, and the more people that speak out, the better. So, I just think it is the right thing to do. So anybody from Chicago, it doesn't have to just be his family or whatever. It can be anybody who knows anything about it. If you know something about it and you're choosing not to say anything, then you're complicit with the lie. Also, I want to mention that for those of you who choose not to take my warning and choose not to listen to me, you're going to have no choice but to see history repeat itself, because the truth is there is nothing new under the sun, and history has a way of repeating itself. So if you do not take my warning and you don't want to listen to me, that's fine, but I'm saying that these very things are just going to happen over and over again with new people if you choose not to believe me, and those same people who are choosing not to believe me are the same people that are going to come back to me and apologize to me and say that I was right. And that's not what I'm saying I want, but I just want people to really take to what I have to say into consideration and really look at the facts and realize that there's no way this many people are saying things that know him and saying that this is not true and that I'm saying it's not true. And, I have proven a lot of things on other videos. So I'm just saying, if you choose not to believe me or to even watch these videos, because that's the sad part, some people are so blinded right now that they refuse to even acknowledge or listen to what I want to say without truly knowing the facts, just because he's in his smear campaign and saying a lot of lies about me, which are not true, but he honestly has no other choice, like I said, but to try to, determine the way that other people see me, because he can no longer control me. And do you notice that instead of confronting the things that, are being lied about, he just tries to deflect by saying lies about me instead of confronting it on the task at hand? And why he does that is to put the focus back on me, that I'm so busy defending myself that people aren't paying attention to him no longer. And that's exactly what he wants. That's exactly what narcissists do. And then, when I finally say anything, I'm the crazy one. I'm crazy because I figured you out. And that's all that is. I'm crazy because I figured him out. And a lot of other people figured him out. And it's truly sad the amount of people that have figured him out or that knew all along that he was lying and chose not to say anything. Like, that is horrible. If you knew the whole time that he was making this up and you chose just to sit there and not to say anything, is crazy to me, and it's very, very sad. But like I said, people in the family and things like that would rather not say anything, especially the area that you live in. It's like a no snitch area, and that's, street code. But people in the family and stuff would rather keep their mouth shut and not say anything instead of being alienated, which is truly really, really sad, then speak the truth. And it's not right, and it's not of God. And like I said, if anybody even wants to come anonymously to me, that's why I have my Facebook page open, and you can do that as well. Also, I want to point out the fact that this man always tries to claim that he has so many other people backing him. Like, when he was literally abusing me on his live the other day, in front of everybody's eyes, calling me all types of names, making up things about me that were not true, that he literally said on there, like, I contacted the doctor and they can't believe that you would say this, and they think it's such a shame that you would make something like that up and spread all these lies about me. Like, do y'all literally realize how ridiculous sounding that is? So you're telling me that a doctor you've met one time in your life who's never looked up your medical records is gonna go on there and talk crap about the other person's wife? Yeah, I'm sure he's got the time of day like that. You know what, though? I'm seriously debating on contacting that doctor and letting him know that you lied about your whole medical record and for him to look it up, because it's not true.